Hey everybody, and welcome back. I am gonna chat a little bit today in this episode of my commission painting vlog, and show you some of the work I've done as it becomes relevant to the discussion. This is Friday, February 13th, so we're about mid-month. And I'm behind. I wouldn't be. Actually, I think I planned this month pretty well. I think I had a month's worth of stuff to do. My problem is that I started the month with TempleCon, which you may have seen the videos for. I did 2 videos, and I actually plan to do a third. And let me back up a little bit. So my planning for TempleCon was that I would attend the convention and work at the same time. So I'd spend part of my time at the show and part of my time working in the hotel room. And as it turned out, logistically, this wasn't really possible. I kind of had to be doing one or the other because we had one car for 3 or 4 people depending on the day, and I had no phone. So there was no easy way for me to be like, hey, come pick me up, or for somebody else to call me and say, hey, come pick me up. And so what ended up happening was, I lost the first day of the convention because we had to get out there and then get unpacked, and then we went and checked out the show itself, and by the time we were all kind of settled back into the hotel, I had enough time to maybe kind of organize all my things and be ready to paint in the future. And then on the Friday, we ended up spending most of the day at the convention, and I did get some work done that day later on in the evening. Then the third day, I spent the entire day at the hotel doing assembly work for the big Malifaux project, which I will show you in a bit. And then the final day of the show, I had something entered in the crystal brush tournament, so our crystal brush painting contest. So I wanted to be there at some point during that day to check it out. And I hadn't painted anything special for it, so I wasn't really necessarily expecting to win. But I kind of got hopeful midway through the con because there wasn't a lot there, and they really had taken their sweet time on announcing that there was even going to be one. So I had a feeling that maybe I had a chance, but no. But anyway, so that last day. Oh, then the last day we had to check out early, so no work got done that day. So I really got one solid day of work in at the convention, which means that I lost 3 days to that, and that's actually made a difference to where I'm at so far this month. So where am I? I am well and truly into the big Malifaux project, which I think I will start showing you now. I only have, I don't even know how many minis are in this project. It's a bunch. But I have about 7 or 8 painted, 1 in the process, and it's going well. And let me tell you something about Malifaux minis. They're like tiny Japanese model kits, these things. Really, Games Workshop can no longer claim that they have the best miniatures in the industry because it's just not true anymore. I kind of wish I really liked this game system more than I do because I love the minis. The minis are fantastic. They go together really well. If there's a complaint at all, it's that they are on the complex side in terms of assembly in some cases, or even just kind of fiddly. Like you'll have a head that's in two parts, and you know these are somewhat realistically scaled heads, and so you know I have big fat fingers, and trying to put those things together with my big fat fingers is sometimes frustrating. I'll sometimes take one of the pieces and stick it to a piece of putty, and so that I can hold the have at least one meat fist holding one of the parts, and then carefully align the other part on there in order to make it work. Not a simple task. But aside from that, and another complaint that at least one of the models, there was absolutely no way that I was going to be able to figure out how to assemble the thing without instructions. And the closest thing that the boxes have to instructions is the front and back pictures on the back of the box. Now, instructions do exist for that model, and it's on their website, but I did not know that. I don't think there was anything in the box that said that, although some of the boxes do have a little slip that says instructions on the website. But it seems like if you can print up a slip that says boxes or instructions on the website, you could actually include the instructions in the box, and you're not adding really anything to the cost. So anyway, that was just a frustration in the case of one model, and in other cases it wasn't that hard to figure it out. And in fact, in most cases, like especially with the man-sized models, the sprue itself, especially if you have like a 5 or 6 man box set, all of the parts for one person are included in its own little segment of the sprue. So you can just clip off all those parts, and then it's all relatively easy to figure out. So mostly, but here's the thing: is like some of those models are super complex. Like just in terms of all the little bits that go on them, and the positioning, and sometimes they have really good part guides. That means a part will lock into place in a specific way so that it can't go wrong. And in many cases, the final results are just so impressive. Like when you have a sniper and the eyepiece goes right up to the eye. It's so wonderful. But in other cases, it's one of those. There's like two shapes, and when put together exactly right, it's like a seamless connection. But trying to find exactly how those two pieces fit, it's very subtle, so it's hard to figure out. But really, at the end of the day, those complaints are minimal, because the end result, if you take your time and you're careful, the end results are pretty amazing, and the models are beautiful, and the detail is astounding. It's sort of, if you know Infinity at all, it's like if Infinity models were made of injection molded plastic. And you know what, I feel like going off on a rant here, because Weird Miniatures has not been around that long, and somehow they have managed to fund and produce all of their minis in these amazing plastic kits, whereas Privateer Press has been around a lot longer, and somehow is now just getting around to trying to do it. I don't know that I fully understand the problem here. In any case, whatever the magic is, Weird Miniatures has it, and the Malifaux models are wonderful. It's both the design of the models are really cool, and the way they go together, and the fact that they're injection molded plastic. These are all just kind of amazing things. Please stop that bird. So that's I'm in the middle of doing that project. I also got another little project out of the way. I did a repaint of a Z95 Headhunter for Star Wars X-Wing, And I even shot a ton of video for it. And when it was all done and I brought it into the editor, I realized all of the video is completely overexposed and there was no way to make it watchable. So that video is never going to be produced, which sucks. So, but yeah, but in any case, I'm behind. The convention made me a little bit behind, and I wouldn't be that concerned about it if it wasn't for the fact that next week I have another convention to go to, which I've been planning to go to for a long time. And this is Total Con in Mansfield, Mass. And whereas Temple Con is a very miniatures heavy convention, very focused on War Machine and a handful of other games, Total Con is definitely more of a role-playing game convention with a lot of board games and some miniatures games and other things. It's a bigger convention. It's been around for much longer. And it's actually been a couple of years since I've been to this one, although the game store goes there every year. We have a pretty standard booth at the show. But I don't expect to get any work done, for any painting work done at this convention. So now and then I'm going to be really behind. So I'm at least a week. I think February is going to eat into March by about a week, but I think I'm going to be able to catch up in March. I do have 3 projects for March, but as I don't have any conventions and the projects I think will be a little bit faster than the February projects, should be able to catch up pretty easily. And I'm looking forward to that because it'd be nice to actually be able to take a day off. Yeah, so the other thing I have for February is a number of Lords of Change models, like the Forge World kit and some other kit, or the Forge World and the Games Workshop and some others. All Lords of Change-ish, all chaos stuff. And I haven't really started on those yet. I also have 2 small role-playing minis that I need to do, and sometimes the little projects I'll do in between the big projects, just as a sort of a palate cleanser. I might even fit those in while I'm doing the Malifaux minis. So that's where I am right now, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed looking at the models that I've completed, and I will try to do another video. Well, maybe this week. We'll see. I'm trying to do as many of these as possible because these are kind of my updates as to how things are going. But yeah, things aren't going so well at the moment in terms of timing, so I may forego videos in order to just make sure I have a maximum amount of painting timed up. But that's it for now, and thanks for watching, and I will talk to you all later.